Okay, so what we have here is we have a 2003 Saturn Vue. Problem was that the windshield washer nozzles or spray jets were not spraying evenly. Problem was on the driver's side, the driver's side nozzle basically blew out. Kind of hard to see there, but there was no orifice, and the passenger side nozzle still had the orifice in there, which I'll show the one that I pulled from the passenger side, if you can see there, still had the nozzle in there. That one's blown out, so basically gushing out of the driver's side, and by the time it got to the passenger side, there was nothing left. Cold day here, about 12 degrees Michigan. First thing I started with was process of elimination. Found another video by a guy on YouTube. Don't have the link for it, but basically said to check the filter strainer at the bottom of the washer fluid. So what you got to do is you got to remove this screw here, this bolt, and then this bolt right back here. It's shared by the coolant tank temp, and then it's a little bit of a finagling process. You got to lift this part out first, pull it up towards the back, and then you'll be able to wrangle this out. Some of the tubes on the side are a little restricting. They flow through the side of the plastic here to keep them organized. Just have to wrangle that out there. You'll pop the pump out of the bottom of the windshield washer tank, and then there's a little plastic rubber strainer at the bottom of the tank that you can check to make sure it's not clogged. Check that first. Mine was hardly clogged, so that wasn't the problem. So then you start tracing out the lines, and what I did is the passenger side is easier to unhook first, so you got to remove the cowling, which means you have to pop a bunch of the stupid little plastic clips there to get it off. The passenger side is much easier. You'll get to where you can see that this is the tubing or outlet for the nozzle, and then you can see the nozzle just fits right in there. What I did is I turned it on and checked for flow. I had good flow coming out of that, but obviously it was less than the flow coming out of the driver's side. So basically process of elimination. Got this finally to where I could get the wiper arms off. The wiper arms were the most challenging. And one tidbit, when you remove the wiper arms, there is a tool that is a wiper arm removal tool. I could not get it in time, so what I got was a gear puller, and as you can see, it kind of bent the arms. It did not really help. It may have loosened it. I spent 2 nights soaking it with some PB Blaster on there, but the temperature's obviously not helping. And then here's just a picture of the replacement washer. Got this at AutoZone for 11 bucks, I think. So getting those off was a trick, but basically before you take them off, you want to put a witness mark on there. So mark across so you can remember which angle, and then obviously that's driver's side, and then that's passenger side. Both the arms go through the passenger side bezel, and then on here it's kind of hard to see. I do have a gray line on there, and then it matches up to this gray dot right there, so that's the angle at which the driver's side goes. And then the same thing here for the passenger side. There's a gray line there to tell me what angle to put it back. So what I have left is just to pop this cowl off here. I've got it loose, and you'll see underneath where it splits, there's one tubing that goes up towards the driver's side, and then there's one tubing that goes towards the passenger side. And yes, yep, there's snow in the intake hood there for the filter for the cabin air. Should be able to get this replaced here in the next 10 minutes and test it out and make sure it works. Just wanted to show you guys, save you some frustration. I find that it's pretty hard to find a lot of Saturn videos. The only things that I find are the ones from Rich Pin, which are for like the Saturn SW and S series for the sedans and station wagons and so forth. So, yep. Just had to replace the orifice. Hardest trick was getting the wiper arms off. Took a hammer, just a little husky 12-ounce hammer there, and then lightly tapping on the side at different points, along with spraying some lubricant on there to get it loose. They were a bugger to get off. Again, cold temps probably made that much more difficult. So, yep, if you got an issue with your windshield wiper arms or spray nozzles and so forth, you're going to check the pump. You'll check the filter strainer at the bottom of the tank here. Like I said, screw, bolt. Check the feed lines as they're routed through. Make sure you got flow. I saw another guy had a leak coming out of the tubing here, and then go from there.